Alright guys, so I'm back. This is the Altergeist deck profile I promised you guys from the locals that I attended. So yeah, we'll get into it. I would say it's a pretty standard build with the, I guess, personal choices throughout it. But yeah, so we have 3 multi-faker, that's pretty standard. 3 Marionetter, 3 Seek, 2 Sequoias, and 1 Concuri. That's pretty standard across, I want to say, basically all Altergeist builds. I'm glad we have her at 3. All these cards are just really good. They all do something very unique that just helps the deck manage itself, even manage its own pitfalls at times. So yeah, all good cards. And then we have a 3 Ash, and I also played DD Crow. Honestly, this card could have been a ghost spell, and I would even say, I even have another DD Crow in my side deck, but I would have said both those cards could have been ghost spell, but I don't have access to them, so, you make means of what you can do. And I also played 3 Impermanents, so I would say 7 hand traps in total. You basically kind of need a fair number of hand traps, because if you don't have a fair number of hand traps, you are going to get screwed. You have to play Yu-Gi-Oh! As if first turn is the last turn sometimes. So having a fairly high hand trap count, I never really see hurt anybody. Or fairly moderate, which is like 6 to 7 cards. I play 2 Desires. Some people choose to play Pot of Duality. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that the deck should just be able to use all its cards immediately. You can draw an impermanence off of it. You can draw, even going second, evenly matched, and then like chain multi-figure. Not to say those scenarios always pull up, but I'm just saying any card you use should be used immediately after you draw it, or should have that ability to be used, which is why I didn't play Duality. I felt Duality slowed the deck down a bit. 2 Secret Village. This card was actually really clutch today. I had this card in my deck for a while, and even before I would say I took it out a little bit, and even before I put it back in, like, I would see that Altergeist was just struggle a lot with just certain decks having too much follow-up plays sometimes, especially with spell cards. So I put it back in, and then ever since I kept it in, it's just been working. It worked especially good today against the Trickstar Sky Striker matchup, and even against the Cosmo matchup that I played. It worked well across a lot of matchups. So really good. Secret Village was good, and it's an easy card to side out depending on the matchup. So that's another thing I like about it. And I played 1 for him. This is just to get Meliseek. You always want to try to find ways to get Meliseek out. And 1 for 1, ever since I put it in the deck, I've had it in since I built the deck earlier this year, and it's never done me wrong. So I really like 1 for 1 in the deck. So those are all the spells that I play. For the traps, we play 3 Personal Spoofing. I feel like that's standard. You always want to try to cycle out your deck for certain Altergeist cards, especially multi-faker. So 3 of that. 2 Manifestation. Manifestation is a really cool card. I like the combos you can do with it, bouncing it with Sequoias, and even like the second effect to like when it goes to graveyard, you can banish it to add another Altergeist trap. So that's always really cool. Pretty cool card. I really like it. 2 Protocol. Protocol is really good. Main thing I like about Protocol too is that even in addition to negating your opponent's card effects, it also gives your Altergeist a protection against them being negated. So like this can sometimes help you against like Gamma, depending, because if you do certain effects in the hand, it doesn't protect it. But once you're on the field, it protects your monsters a lot. And honestly, I would say this, and probably a lot of people who play against Altergeist would agree with me, this card is actually a very big problem for a lot of other decks, because it really does prevent decks from fully completing a certain play that will, like, I guess, make the Altergeist deck fumble. But because of it, your opponent really can't play around this card. So having this card, especially early on, is really good. 2 Heavy Stormduster. This is a card that I recently added in. For a while, I was playing like Torrential Tribute, and I still have it in the deck. I only have it at 1 now. But for a while, I was playing Torrential Tribute, and I found that, like, Torrential Tribute is a card that needs to be very reactive. It needs to play off your opponent. And with Altergeist, you kind of want to play at your own tempo, I believe. So having the torrential, having to play at my opponent's tempo, I felt like it was just a little bit too slow. And I noticed they were like, even before when I used to play it a little bit before, I would just have times where I'd have torrential, but then I can't activate because nobody's summoning anything, and it's like I got multi-figure in hand, can't do shit with it. So I just found this to be a good option, and especially my Altergeist. I think all back row decks, all Yu-Gi-Oh decks hate back row decks, but I think back row decks especially hate back row decks, ironically. And this actually worked good for me today in my round 2 matchup against Altergeist players. So kudos to Heavy Storm Duster. This was actually a very big part of my day. So 3 strikes, warning, and judgment. I'm going to say a statement. I feel like my life points are basically expendable as long as they're not at 0. You know, these cards, just like Altergeist is a deck where it doesn't have like a lot of like big power plays. It has cute plays, I can say, but it doesn't have a lot of big power plays where you can like negate big summons or like negate big monsters. Especially like I played against Cosmos round 3 and I'm like, how am I going to beat these guys? Like multi-figure target what? A ship? Can't do that. Multi-figure target a pilot? Can't do that. So strikes, you know, they help to negate the ships in the graveyard. They help to negate the pilots from tagging out. It's a power card that helps further the strategy of Altergeist. It kind of really picks up for the deck lacks, I would say. Not necessarily to like the best degree, because at the same time, you know, drawing it turn like later in the game doesn't really work for you. But having it early on, especially in conjunction with like protocol and stuff like those heavy negates, your opponent can't play. So yeah. Imperial Order, I feel like this is just standard in the deck, especially given the format, Sky Strikers and whatnot. It's Imperial Order, negate spells, chain multi-figure, regular shit. Metaverse, this is to get out the Secret Village. Almost you could say it's like a second order in the form of a trap card, but it's really Secret Village when I play it. It was good today because I got Secret Village off with it, so yeah. And the last card, Torture Tribute. Honestly, this card, I didn't really see this card helping me too much today. So, out of all the cards in this deck, I would say I would take this one out first. But yeah, I mean, I think board wipes are just good in general, but it didn't really serve much purpose. So I can see myself losing that card, if anything. So yeah, that's the main deck. It's 41. 41 cards. I really liked it. Going to the extra. The only card, or I should say the main card missing from this extra deck is Boral Sword, which we were trying to search for in the box opening video. But I didn't get it, but it's okay. That's fine. 3 Hextia. I feel like it's pretty standard. Can't wait till I get Pot of Indulgence, though. But 3 Hextia negates spell or trap cards or effects, so that's important. Some people kind of forget that. Like today, when I was playing the Thunder Dragon player, he actually tried to banish the fusion spell, and I guess he didn't realize Hextia could negate it. And I got that data text just so he could make sure he could read that and see. So yeah, it negates cards and effects, which is very important because some cards only negate cards, which is when you activate them from the hand, and some cards can negate effects, which is like both activating from the hand or the graveyard. And she's really good. Also, she adds an Altergeist when she goes to the graveyard. I don't know if a lot of people really use that effect, but I actually used it today in order to search a multi-figure when I didn't hard draw into it. So yeah, pretty good. Prime Banshee, I think she tributes Altergeist and summons one from the deck. Yeah. And if she sends to the graveyard, you can add an Altergeist card from the graveyard to your hand. She's okay. She's very situational, though. I mean, some builds don't even run her, but just space out of my extra deck. Trisbania, never played it. Pops back row. This, never played it. Borolo, never played it. But, you know, these are just all utility cards. Ningrisu, Unicorn, Cerberus, Phoenix, Clarenrushka. This is actually supposed to be another Link Karibo. I'd play 2 Link Karibos in my extra deck. But yeah, Link Karibo, Underclock, and this guy, just because. Just because. So yeah, that's my extra deck. It's 15. Alright, now for my side deck. This is what I believe actually won me most of my matches. I don't think my side deck is necessarily the best side deck. I sided well for most of my matches. I knew what I needed to side out, and I knew what I needed to side in. And, you know, side decking is a big part of competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! And I don't think it's something a lot of people pay attention to in terms of their matchups, but side decking is really important. So, yeah, we're going to go into it. Third Secret Village, this is just, you know, if it's going to game 3 and I go first, or even if it's game 2 and it's like against Sky Striker or something, like having this up literally can shut down the entire Sky Striker deck. People have outs to it sometimes, you know, Pankratops or not, but nonetheless, this is a good card and should be ran. Like, having it today, it really helped me get as far as I did in the tournament. 2 mind controls. I did this just in case, like, I don't know, I just ran this. I ran this just as, like, utility, honestly, like, in case my opponent had a monster on the field that I could just take control of, link it, make Phoenix pop. It does wonders in the mirror match. It actually helped me today. I baited a Hex Steal with it, but it was still worth it. If I actually got that Hex Steal, it would have been a really hard game for my opponent to play. But it was pretty good, I can say. Would I keep it in? Maybe. I mean, even against the Thunder Dragon matchup, you have this and Meliseek, it's like you practically clear their board. But it was okay card. I could see myself keeping it in. No real problem with it. And also you can link off the Sky Striker monster without having to trigger the Ray in the graveyard. So as I said, it's a utility card. It worked. 3 evenly. I would just say this is like self-explanatory practically. Just clearing the board and going second and shit. So 3 Mind Crush. Some people actually main this in Altergeist, but I side deck it. The main reason I actually side deck Mind Crush is because it's actually for evenly matched, but at the same time it serves as utility. Overall, even if I don't have to play against evenly matched, my opponent searches, oh, Mind Crush that card out your hand, and it works. I usually side these in if I'm going first. If I'm going first during the middle of the game, if it's like game 2 or game 3, gotta go first. Side these in because I don't want to get evenly matched. Like, that shit is just terrible. 2 Rivalry of the Warlords. Never saw him today, but it's a pretty good card, as everybody should know. In this current meta, I mean, it could probably hurt Rogue the most, which is mainly the reason why I probably put it in here. But all in all, I would say it's a pretty good card. It could stun the shit out of your opponent, trust me. 1 Heavy Stormduster. Didn't necessarily see the need to run a second one of this, but I could see myself signing this out if I wanted to. DD Crow, as I said, when I was doing the main deck, this could easily be a Ghost Bell, but I don't have any, so this is just what we have for now. And the last 2 cards are 2 Pankratops. Honestly, this was a card that I actually wanted to run 3 of in my side deck because I feel like it's just a really good card. It's a monster, it's a pop. Yeah, just you could kill 2 birds with 1 stone a lot of times with this card. And just seeing it, even if it's in multiples in your opening hand, but especially like when you're going second and you know you're going second, like you would want to see him at all times in your opening hand going second. So yeah, I think I would actually want to put 3 of him in the side. Some people might call it overkill, but hey, my deck, personal choice. So yeah, that was my locals winning Altergeist deck. Happy New Year's, everybody. Hope y'all had a good 2018, and hope we have an even better 2019. Trying to make this to a real good YouTube channel, so like, comment, subscribe, share if you like the deck profile. Give me your suggestions, your opinions on what you think about the deck, what you think I could change, and yeah, looking forward to the new year. Peace, everybody.